review on the Becker BK9, and I think K-Bar is also, I think that they sold the knife to K-Bar here, and I've modified the hell out of this knife. I've had it for probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and I've changed it quite a bit. I mean, I'm sure you can see that if you buy it online, I don't remember what it cost, somewhere around 80-90 bucks, I think. And the handle was a little bit thick for my taste. I like a thin handle. You know, I'm also a jiu-jitsu and judo guy, and you know, I know that the more surface area of your hand that can go around, the closer your fingers get to touching, the better grip you're gonna have. So the wider a handle is, to me, it isn't a good thing. Like, yeah, you have more, you know, surface area to make contact with, but then the surface area that you need to make contact with is greater, therefore, in my opinion, diminishing the grip that you have on the tool itself. You know, I mean, think about something like a mop, a broomstick, a screwdriver, a hammer. 99% of all the tools that we use every day have narrow handles, perfectly comfortable, perfectly adequate, and we're all happy with it. Then there are like K-Bar knives with huge handles, and everyone thinks, okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. But if you look, like back in the Korean War days, Vietnam days, the K-Bar knives didn't have really fat handles. They were actually really narrow, like a broomstick. If you don't believe me, just look one up. But nowadays, really fat handles. And many guns are like this, and even when they're not fat-handled guns, people will put like these rubber slip things over them. I fell into that trap before, and then it took me a while to realize, wait a minute, in judo and jiu-jitsu, and like where you're dealing with grip strength and you need a tremendous amount of control over stuff at all times, I realized narrow is better. So I modded my BK9. Here's how mine came. With this, it's like a nylon sheath here, has a polymer insert, which I do like. It goes in and out real easy. It doesn't lock in or anything, but it does have this snap here where you can button it up, and has another little compartment here, and there's another little insert right in there. And I actually have the knife. It used to come with it, I guess, but I actually ordered it separate, the knife that actually goes in there. But you can fit stuff in this pouch, and I just have the paracord, because I have it enough paracord to where I can hook this up to wrap around your leg if you ever wanted to. And I changed, I don't use the belt thing there, although it's a great belt attachment thing with like a belt. It opens up so you can just, you don't even need to take off your belt, and it even has a snap in there and everything. Really nice, I like it. But it also has this little nylon webbing loop on here, and for me, what's easier, and I use this knife all the time, just out in the yard, it's just real convenient. I carry it right on me when I'm mowing, and I cut down branches and all sorts of crap with it. Use it all the time. I actually had to clean it real good just for this video, because I use it so much. But I just put this big S-binder on here, and all I do is just clip it onto a belt loop, and then it hangs down perfectly, and it just swings. It's super comfortable, doesn't get in the way, you don't even notice it there. I'll forget half the time when I get done mowing the lawn, I go to take a shower, I'll forget that I'm even wearing it. But so I like the sheath. It's pretty good. It's not the best. It does have MOLLE attachments, which I like, so you can put it on any modern military gear. That's cool. I don't know if it still comes like this or not. I'm just telling you what's up with mine and how I feel about mine. So I narrowed up the handle anyway. I took these scales, these polymer scales off, and I put them on my belt sander, and I sanded them down quite a bit, and then I put them back on, And so it's a much narrower handle now than when it was, by probably maybe a quarter of an inch. And to me, that's a way tighter grip. I get a good overlap of my thumb, my fingers almost touch my palm. In my opinion, that's right where you want your grip. Obviously you don't want your palm to overlap your fingers, but you don't want it to be bigger than that. That means there's area that you're not controlling that you could have a better grip on. So in my opinion, that's how it is. Now I've taken off the secondary bevel. This doesn't come like this, flat ground, like how I have it right here. There's usually a secondary bevel, and for the most part I've taken that off. I might have a little bit of work to do left on this one before I get it perfect, but for the most part, I don't know if you can see that, I have taken off the secondary bevel on this knife. And I've also taken off most of the finish, and I made it two-tone, and I think it looks a lot better, but I don't really care how it looks too much, but I do think it looks awesome. I put a real heavy duty, this is like the 1000 or 1100, it's not paracord, it's double that, and you can find it around now. It's got a nice big lanyard hole there, so if you want to put that on yours. But what I like about this knife is it's perfect for a combat knife. It's, even like great, it's like a great mix between a combat knife and a machete. It's pretty thick blade, I don't think it's a quarter, I think it's just under a quarter maybe. But super strong, retains an edge pretty well. I really enjoy it. I think for the price, this is a great knife. I'm also going to do a review of my BK2. They're the only two of these Becker BK line that I have. There's all sorts of them, and they go up in size as the number goes up, I believe. As I only have the 2 and 9, but the 7 is like somewhere in between, and the 5 and all this kind of thing. And but you can check them out as you see fit. But I really like it. Somewhere between, if you're looking for somewhere between a machete and a combat knife, I really think this is what you want. It's not too expensive, so you don't, rough usage, as you can see, it's weathered just a little bit, the blade, even though I took off the finish there, you can see it slightly, but every once in a while, I can clean that up if I want to. I keep a little bit of oil on it, mostly on any knife that can corrode or anything. I'll put a little bit of gun oil on it. But I think it's a great knife. It'll be even better when I get the secondary bevel perfectly removed. But for the price, I don't know of any knife that could beat it for the price, and that is just perfect size and everything. And what I like about it is it's not really made to be like highly modifiable, but it is. I mean, there's enough to the knife and enough different surfaces and whatnot, and the scales are simple enough to where if you really want to, you can mod this knife, and it doesn't take a ton of technical know-how. I mean, I sure as fuck is no metalsmith or anything, and I did it, and I'm getting better with time. The more knives that I remove the secondary bevel from, and I did this on my BK2 as well, and I think that one maybe even turned out a little bit better than this one. And I don't know, I enjoy modding a knife. I think modding a knife is almost more fun than just having the knife to begin with. So yeah, anyway, that's my review of my Becker BK9. I don't think you can beat it for the price. I think it's a great knife, and what I like about it is it's a combat knife. What I really enjoy about this knife here is that it's a combat knife that I actually use all the time. And I mean all the time. I mean, not a week goes by I don't use this knife. Whereas I have tons of other combat knives and machetes and hardly ever got any use, swords even, almost never get any use. But it's just strange. This is, I don't know, it just happened to fit into my normal thing, doing my normal thing around, and I actually use it all the time. I really like that. I didn't choose it that way, it just worked out that way. But I'm always happy when any tool that I buy gets its turn at bat. You know, it's nice that we actually get our value out of our tools for once, especially, you know, people who have a lot of them, you know, and I do. But anyway, until next time, I'm Socrates.